I'm gonna say this, like a lot of people on the other side of the camera right now are gonna say, what in the hell is Mike doing? Mike is personifying pimpdom. He's giving Ken a platform again. But I asked you here today because I see a growing and swelling community of, in particular, I like Second Amendment stuff. I like guns. I mean,
yeah.
So pills be looking at niggas like guns, like what's wrong with you niggas? But in the white Second Amendment community, there's a return to alpha maledom. They ain't like, we can't just own guns. We can't be fat with the guns. We gotta lose some weight. You know, I've been losing the weight. You gotta hike with your rifle, all that kind of shit. But there's a growing sentiment of white boys who really hard up on stoicism, you know, self-development, discipline, logic. That. Yeah, red pill, exactly. So you seeing them, but they saying shit that I saw you say, Charles say, Red say, School say, and they're charging people for it.
It's a double standard. Can I speak to your ladies right quick? Ladies, I'm a changed man, right? I'm no longer a pimp. But check this out, though.
Are they still hoes, though?
No, I don't deal with no hoes.
Okay.
But check this out. Ladies, let me tell you, I'm finna break your heart. I've been breaking a lot of hearts. I'm gonna break your heart one more time before I finally retire on this thing. Malcolm X was a pimp. Y'all love Malcolm. Malcolm made a change, but when, like I said, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Y'all love Malcolm. Y'all got Malcolm hanging on your wall. Malcolm was a pimp. So news flash. If you hate me, you need to hate Malcolm as well.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying? Now that's how, but now here's the problem, sisters. 85% of you sisters out there are single parent. Y'all have no man in the house. And guess what? You can blame Ken, you can blame the white man, you can blame whoever you want to blame. But y'all are raising the killers. Where's all these drills coming from? Where's all this killing coming from? Who are the drug dealers? It's your son. Okay? So you're raising the killer. The problem is you need a man in the house. We need to reunite the black man and the black woman, and we need to come back together, and we need to raise. My mom and daddy raised me, right? My mom and daddy raised me. My father gave me a choice. You know what I'm saying? Either I can do this or do that. And I got whips like slaves on my back. I got whipped with a extension cord. My daddy beat the hell out of me. I just love the game. You know, I love the game so much. He couldn't beat me from out of the game. But I want the women to know that they are raising the killers.
Now,
but think about it though.
I gotta inject this because Brother Dunn gonna call me now. Malcolm X joined the Nation of Islam. He learned under the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was taught by God in the person of man, Master Muhammad. So I don't want nobody coming down on me as much as saying, I believe these brothers fundamentally changed. But if you niggas want to be Malcolm, I better see you at mosque number 15.
Mr. Farrakhan say that. Mr. Farrakhan say that all the time. That's why I got that statement from.
That's real.
He said, why y'all tripping on so-and-so when Malcolm was a pimp?
But I want you to bring your butt through the doors. We want to see you at mosque 15. That's going to keep me good in my hood. I don't want to get bad in my hood.
No. Brothers know I'm Moorish American.
Now, hey, come on now.
You understand? I'm a Mo. I've been a Mo since 76. So you understand me? I understand.
Y'all don't even understand we talking about. Just trust me. We good.
Yeah.
I want to say, I do fundamentally believe you've grown and changed, because I told Swift, man, I said, Ken, I ain't heard really Ken talk about pimping and shit over 15, 16 years. And I say, man, he's the only guy that I saw in those movies who I've seen become a legitimate businessman, and I've seen parent. There's another guy, I got a brother named T. I won't even say his other initial out of Vegas, man. I saw him grow out of pimpdom into restaurant ownership, into taking care of his son, sending him to college. I seen you do similar. I was on the phone with you as the police pulled you and your son over.
Yeah.
And I wasn't listening to a pimp or a player. I was listening to a parent communicate with an officer while his child was being stopped and searched. And you did it with such a calm, with such an ease, with such a resolve that when you... Yep, this is the other day.
Where were y'all at?
He was in Texas.
We was in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So we are, but I'm talking to him. And my father, it was like hearing my father talk to me. You know what I mean? And I was in that moment. What I understood is no matter what profession you'd held, no matter what you retired from doing, in that moment, your sense of logic, your stability, your calm, gave that boy, that young man, a rock to lean upon as the police were potentially violating rights, were suspicious of, but they were respectful. I got to say that. So when I hear you give that speech to women, and a lot of people are giving that speech, a lot of men give that speech and they want to down women. A lot of men give that speech and it's to say it's your fault. I hear the speech you're giving, but what I've seen you do in addition to that speech is I've seen you tell young men the pimp game is dead. Take that talent and take it somewhere else. I've seen you father your own son through peril, through circumstance, all of them. But I'm saying this is the one I witnessed. Yep. I've seen you keep it honest with the community of character, because hip hop is a character. We want to be drug dealers, we want to be pimps, we want to be things, movies and other things that influence us. I've seen you keep it real with, hey, this is who I am, and I almost talk those like little brothers, like, oh, you want to do this, and I see a value in that. And that value is being bought in other communities and it's being sold as other things. But the way you bring the value is honest, it's respectful, it's remorseful, and I think is needed. So would you advise the women that you were just talking to and the women that we know, because they are cousins, they are aunts, they are mothers, would you advise them to find a mentor?
No, this was what I wanted to say,
sir.
to the women, right? Sisters, the other part of that, right, is that the lion is the most notorious animal in the kingdom. But what makes the lion the most notorious is not his claws, nor is his veins in his mouth. That ain't what makes him notorious. What makes him notorious is his roar. What makes a man is not that he can hit you in your mouth or he can work hard all day. It's his Adam apple. That's what's going on. The child is prone to that Adam's apple. That's what makes a child sit down. If Mike tell his kids to sit down and his wife tell him to sit down, it's a different sit down. And the first thing she say when they get on her nerves, she say, I'm gonna tell your daddy. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's so essential and it's so important that we reunite the Black family. Before, this brother, he talk about Martin Luther King all the time. Before the 60s, the Black families was well intact. Brother Wesley Muhammad and Brother Nori Muhammad talks about the counterinsurgency drugs that was put into our community. You can't have a resurgence, so you can't have a revolution if you high on PCP or high on heroin. So all of these things are things that we got to understand. It was a concerted effort to take the African-American man out the household. And a lot of sisters, they joined the liberation movement in the 1970s because after affirmative action, the first thing the sisters say is that, I want to be free too. I want to be liberated.
We're talking about the women's liberation movement, which was headed by Gloria Steinem. Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, the 1920. So the original, but what Black women did, unlike white women, Black women put on the tie, cut their hair short, and they wanted to act like white men.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying? So that's when you start seeing the disconnect. The Black woman is the only woman that say, I don't need no man. You could be having a conversation with a sister, you say, I don't need a man. A white woman know that she needed a man because the white woman's smart enough to know that, if I marry a man, that I get 50%, I get 50% of that income. You know what I'm saying? I marry, it's a contract. Marriage is a bad contract, because
hold on, what you just say?
It's a bad contract.
Hold on, let me pause real quick. Shay? That's all I'll be trying to say. I think after a few years, you should be able to renegotiate marriage contract.
No, because the contract, if Mike got everything he got.
I'm not going to say this.
If Mike got everything he got and he made, but it could be for the woman too. The woman could be well off too. Like Katrina
That shit don't work for me.
Hey, look, but we got to run a debate. I think marriage should be a renegotiable contract.
Yeah, I don't want to take
two. Yeah. So,
but the number one cause of divorce, right?
What?
Marriage.
All right, man.
Hey, you got a pimp on there now. I'm saying some pimp shit.
Hold on. Check this out. What you think about that term alpha female though? They be you throwing this shit around like crazy.
Well, let's go back to the red pill question, right?
Yeah.
Men, the biggest problem men make is that they meet a woman and they put the pussy on the pedestal. You got to take the coochie off the pedestal because the vagina is very powerful, right? Everybody love vagina because we all came from one. That's our first home. We stayed 9 months in that motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? We love the vagina, but the problem is when you put the coochie on the pedestal, you can't deal with a woman metric to metric, apple to apple, orange to orange. So everything get distorted. And then she understand that she can weaponize her vagina. So when you take a woman to the movie, the first thing she say is, I'm gonna pay you with coochie. You take her, get something nice, she gonna pay you with coochie. You do something nice for her, she pay you with coochie. Now coochie becomes the part of the relationship. And then as soon as she get mad, what she do? She weaponize the coochie and you don't get no coochie. You understand what I'm saying? So what we got to do is that's what pimps do. Pimps say, we not tender under the zipper. You understand me? We said we don't let our little head beat our big head. You know, that's the first training that you got to get as a pimp. You got to learn how to control your little head.
I love this.
And BB King say, if you give a woman sex, right? You know, after you give a woman sex, just like BB King say, then the thrill is gone.
The thrill gone.
You understand me? If you can try you before she buy you, then there's no, and that goes in a square relationship too, Mike. Think about it. If you
That's what I'm here for.
If the first thing you do is have sex with a woman when you first meet her, guess what you're doing? You're devaluing the relationship because now she think that you're gonna do that with every woman that you see.
Right.
But if you hold your sex and you hold your penis and you don't allow yourself to be 10 under the zipper, guess what?
She gotta come another way.
The value, your value goes up. That's how you become a high value man, by not allowing yourself to let the coochie weaponize you, because you cannot beat the coochie.